Hello, we're gonna play around with some dip powder designs today. I've already got my nails prepped and tipped, and we're gonna start dipping. This one we're gonna do kind of a swirl pattern. For this one, I've got my French dip or my dip powder container, which opens up. Sorry, I'm gonna keep hitting the camera, by the way. So that one's gonna open up. We're gonna use that. I've got my clear, and that's just to build up right here to make that natural curve. So I've got clear, and then I'm going to use white, sparkle pink, and our loose purple powder. And I went with that because I'm going to try and use my Easter Bunny guys. So I'm using those colors to kind of match that. And the other thing, the strip I was going to use until I realized I'm going to play with some dip powders with something like that to kind of accent with it. So instead I'm going to create my own accents. So let's get started with our, this is going to be like our swirl little design. Okay, so the first thing I need is my base coat. I've got my base coat, my activator, my top coat, and I'm going to, like I said, build up that natural kind of curve just in the middle. So you just need a thin layer of your base, and you want it right on your natural nail, not on the tip, and just right behind the tip, so that way you can create, you're not going all the way back towards your cuticle, you're just putting the clear, like I said, behind the tip, and at a 45-degree angle you're going to dip you're going to bring your container up to your nail. Tap off, let me scoot this stuff back. Tap off your excess with your finger pointed straight down. That way you're not just tapping it right back onto your nail. And you're going to repeat that for any of the nails that you're, for basically everything. Even the one I'm going to do the strips on, I'm going to do that for all of my nails. So it's the very first, and I want to get this excess off. Hold on one second, because I've got a lot of excess on there. So I just got my nail brush, get my excess off. It's going to be a little bit tricky where I've got my camera. So again, with your base coat on your natural nail, bring your, at a 45-degree angle, but bring your dip jar up to your nail. Tap off your excess, and you can use a brush to remove it. Now, in between each time that you use, I'm going to try and stop hitting that. Each time you try to wipe off your brush. I always forget, but you should wipe off your brush and not knock over all your stuff, because my activator's actually open and I knocked it over. Okay, so I've got my clear buildup on this one. I'm going to keep going on my pointer finger. So the next thing I am going to do is create my, let's do actually one more, sorry. You're going to go take your base coat and do one more level back, not all the way to your cuticle again. So I don't know if you can see kind of how I have quite a bit of space left between my cuticle, and now you're going to go all the way up the nail. So you're going to do the tip and not quite as far back as your cuticle. You always want to leave a little hairline of space. But we're just going to kind of even things out with the clear still. Okay. So again, 45-degree angle, bring your jar up to your nail. Tap off your excess. And someone's at the door, so I'm going to put this on hold for a second. I'm going to pause real quick. Okay, sorry about that. So we've got we did one clear dip that was just in the middle right here. And then we did one clear dip to build it all the way back. And the first one we did just on the natural nail, then the second one we do all the way forward. And normally you're going to be doing all of your nails at once. So in between each of your, steps, you're going to have time to dry. So that was my second layer. So we've had a little bit of time to dry because I had to go out to answer the door. Now I'm going to put my clear aside for just a minute so I don't get it confused with the white. And I'm going to make my swirl. So I'm going to take my white. I'm always afraid I'm going to get them confused. So there's my white. But I'm just doing this because, again, my bunnies has I'm going to try to quit hitting the camera. I'm so sorry. It has white on the background. So I'm going to take white and put it in my container. Let's see. And then I'm going to take some pink. This is sparkle pink. And put it kind of in the middle. I don't know if this is going to work very well on camera. So there's my sparkle pink. And I'm going to take, now I'm going to use, I have a whole thing of our swatches here. And if you take a look at the end of the swatch, you can use a metal cuticle pusher to scoop, but these are cheaper, so why not use one of these? So I'm going to take my little scooper and I'm going to scoop some of the purple in here too. This is just loose purple glitter. Don't need very much at all. So that's going to be my scoop for my glitter. And you do, if I didn't mention before, want a paper towel, not only maybe to have, I've got my tray underneath me, but so you can wipe off your brushes. It is over here. I'll just keep forgetting. And then so that way you can catch any loose powder because the powder likes to get everywhere. So I'm just taking an orange stick. You can use a toothpick. You could technically probably use the other side of this. And just going to make a little swirl. Just kind of mix it up a little bit. So this is not like a perfect design, it's just, it'll look really pretty on the nail. You can keep kind of mixing it a little bit if you want. So I kind of like how the middle looks right there, with maybe just a little bit more sprinkle of the glitter. Okay, so I'm gonna use this pointer finger that I've already built up to do the 2 dips. I'm gonna take my base coat. You still want to keep it a hairline away from your, I'm going to do just a thin coat, hairline away from your cuticle. And if you get it too far back, you can use your orange stick or a Q-tip, and you want to always, on the camera, I've got to make sure I get this other side. So get a nice thin even layer, and I did get a little bit on my cuticle, so I can take my orange stick, see back there, and just wipe it off, because otherwise you will get powder and everything back there. Okay, so this time, instead of dipping at a 45-degree angle, I'm going to place my nail right in that swirl part that I like. See how pretty that is? Tap off your excess, again making sure that you don't just tap it right back onto your nail. You can wipe off your excess. Look how cool that looks. That is amazing. So I can do one more layer of clear, I think I'm going to do, because I really like how that looks. Or you can do another layer into your, whichever you want to do. So let's see, I'm going to get my excess off of here. And we'll go ahead and dip maybe one more time back into the swirl. It doesn't really matter. You can do your clear. Or you can just stop there and do your base coat, but I think we need one more layer. So I think I'm going to do my clear, because I'm okay with how light that pink is. I'm going to let this dry for just a second. I can't make a decision, right? So we've already got one full dip on here of clear and one full dip of the color. So I'm going to do just one more clear, just to make sure it's got a thick enough layer to keep my tip on. Because you do want to build this up a little bit to make sure that your tip is strong enough. So we should be dry. I've got a little piece of lint in there though. A little something. See if I can grab it. If not, it'll probably lay down. It could just be the powder. Okay, there we go. Okay, so one more time we're going to dip into the clear. So I'm going to make sure, I think this is my white. Let's move it out of the way. Oh, that's my clear. Okay, take my white and move it out of the way. And this is just to give it enough thickness. And again, you don't want it on your cuticles, which I did. You want it as even as you can get a layer. I'm going to wipe off my cuticle. I need to remember to stay on camera. Sorry about my puppy dog. It's actually my brother's dog. I'm over at away from my kiddos so they cannot distract us. Okay, so we've got our clear 45-degree angle with the jar up to the nail. Get your excess off of there. Brush off your excess. My orange stick is stuck to my brush. We're just having all kinds of fun over here. Look how pretty. Okay, we're going to give that a couple seconds to dry because like I said, normally you'd be going through all your nails because you can do this on all your nails. I'm going to do different accents on a bunch of my nails so that way we can see some different designs. But the swirly little effect is one of my absolute favorites. So, and as you can see, we just mixed the loose glitter right into the powder. Okay, so we're going to go in with at least 2 layers of activator. It all depends on how much, how many times you dipped. So I dipped a total of 4, just one on the natural nail, then an all clear, then the design, and then a clear. So there's 1 layer of activator. I'm going to let that dry and we'll do another layer at least. We want to make sure it gets all down in there. So kind of getting to where it's a little cloudy looking because we've got that clear on top. We don't have our top coat on yet, so it's not all shiny and pretty. And you don't have, you could do another coat of swirl and not do the clear top coat, whatever you want. Whatever's gonna, that would make the colors a little bit darker, but then I think you won't be able to see the exact design we got in the first round. And I really liked how everything laid. It was a very pretty swirl. So there's our activator. We want to let that dry. Everything just takes about 10 seconds to dry. It's really, really quick. So normally, like I said, if you're doing all your nails, then it's going to dry between your different layers. Or your different, you know, as you do one dip into your clear, for example, all the way around to your 10 nails, then your everything else is going to dry. So here's our top coat. Always our first layer is going to be really thin, and then when you glide this over the top of your nail, you want to do it really gently because you don't want to pick up any activator because this will harden your brush. So just real gently, and look how now my design is back. Look how beautiful. Not cloudy anymore. I am going to remember to wipe off this brush because the activator definitely will harden your brushes. So there's the shine back, there's my design back, the little swirl. And I'll take some pictures when these are all done. Just enough sparkle in there with our loose glitter. I'm going to do 1 more coat of top coat after we give it a second to dry. And again, let me just, I can save this into like our little dip mix containers, and I can use it again for a fully mixed, like a light, it'll look like a light pink with purple sparkles once you mix the white and the light. The white and the pink, it'll look like a light pink with sparkles. And then I'm going to do 1 more top coat. And we are all done. Look at how beautiful that shine is. The benefit of your dips is you've got the hardness of an acrylic, you've got the shine of gel polish, and they're super easy to do at home. So there is what I would call a swirl design. Thanks so much for watching. I'm going to do a couple more.